Okay. Hey girl, can you hear me okay? It's always more weird when you set this up yourself. Perfect. Awesome. I like run these for Murphy sometimes, but it's weird to run it yourself. But oh my gosh. So we'll see. If it's just you and me, I'll feel fine with that too, because oh my gosh, you should tell me what you're reading now. I'm gonna try to pull the comments up on my phone here. And there's like a little bit of a delay, which is always fun. Yes, we would have a great time. There we go. I got the comments pulled up so that I can see them faster. But it would also be funny because I'd be waiting for you to type things and just hanging out, right? Got a huge mug of coffee, which I don't really need because since I got back from my trip, I've just been awake all the time. It isn't even from jet lag. I just was so used to getting so little sleep. So, but anyway. Trying to figure out too. I should probably share this on Twitter. Would be a smart thing to do. I'm gonna do that real quick. Oh, okay. The fifth Bridgerton is To Sir Philip with Love. Is that the one? I think that's the fifth one. I think I have them memorized in my head. Let me see. Yeah, because Eloise, she disappears at the end of Penelope and Colin's book. Fair. Yes. Yeah. I'm really glad you've continued with it. I hope you're really liking those. Which I think you said that that one was your favorite so far, the fourth one. Is that your favorite one so far? I really need to read Loch Lamora too. I feel bad. I've tried to read it like 5 times, I feel like, and just haven't. Oops. Should have had like a better plan in case, but I was just gonna go over the books I'm like reading currently until anyone had any like suggestions they were looking for at all. But I guess we'll see. Still pretty quick here anyway. But oops. Yeah, so I'll just go over that then. So when I was on my trip, I started reading all of Sarina Bowen's books. I don't know if you have read any of her. Oh, okay. Benedict and Sophie, yes. That used to be one of my favorites until this like recent reread. And then personally, I just found Benedict just a little bit too dense. Like I love all of the boys. They all have their this or whatever, but him insisting she be his mistress for such a long amount of time just really kind of pissed me off, I guess. And oh, it just irritated me. But I really like Sophie a lot, and I like her, like stepmother and that like interaction and everything. But I just this time through, I really loved the Penelope and Colin and that like friend situation and just how he like came to a new realization of her. And yeah, and I mean, that just goes to show like we feel differently about romance about any book, but I think we feel differently about romances at different times when we read them, because the first time I read that series I was 16 through 18 is when I read them all, and I just loved pretty much every historical romance that I read, and now I'm irritated by things that I wouldn't have been. And it isn't just because, oh, now I think this book is sexist and before I didn't. That's not always the case either. But yeah, it was just this time around. That one didn't really do it for me. The same with Anthony was a little bit grating to me this time around too. But I still love his arc in that one a lot. So yeah, I like him a lot. But yeah, so I started reading Sarina Bowen's books, which I'd read her books with Elle Kennedy. So I'd read the I'd read Him and Us, which were a male hockey romance, and also Friends to Lovers, which is really cool. And then I noticed that she had this series called The Ivy Years. And yes, that's fair, Colin and Penelope, because I don't want to spoil this in case anyone watches this later on, but finding out who Lady Whistledown was the first time through was so much fun. And then when I reread this series at later on, I'm always trying to see how the person who did it really could have been doing it. It's very Gossip Girl of them. But yeah, I love that. And so anyway, the Ivy Years is like college romances, which I haven't been too interested in those previously. I don't know why. I think once I got out of college, I didn't want to like read any like that. But the Ivy Years, there's 5 books in it and then like 3 novellas that like fit in between it. And I was just looking for some smut, honestly. Like I'm not scared to say it. I had a lot of plane rides. I was like, I just want some trashy books to read during my trip because I got a long trip to do. And so I downloaded the box sets because they were on sale. And I was like, okay, I'll get those. And each one of them had such a powerful story mixed in to like they weren't even smut. They were literally contemporary college romances. They were more new adult, I'd say. But the first one, which is called The Year We Fell. Oh, hey, Christy. Thanks for joining. I'm just talking about the books I'm reading right now. And then Sorry, someone was knocking. And then I'll tell you what I had like planned. I was just giving people some time to show up. Hey, Lynn. Yes, yeah. I was talking about the Ivy years on my live show the Patreon live show with Murphy today. But the first one is, I'm just going to tell you like what the conflict is and not anything else. But the first one is this girl, her senior year of high school, she gets a spinal injury in hockey. So she was going to be going to school to play hockey. Oops. I think I might have set the wrong link to some people. Because they're joining this way. Oopsie. Yeah, so I don't know who this one was. I think I sent out the wrong link. But you'll join the one on my channel. I haven't done one of these myself before, so I'm sorry. But yeah, I'll kick this out and then go ahead and join the one on my YouTube channel. Just on the Book Refuge channel, it's the first video up. So I'm going to go ahead and there you go. You got it. Perfect. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. So the first one is this girl has a spinal injury. And so she has to be on the first floor of these dorms. And then the guy in it, he is the hockey captain and he hurt himself climbing a wall while he was drunk. And so he can't play for the first 6 months. So they end up being neighbors because they have to be on the handicapped accessible floor. And he has a girlfriend at the beginning of the story, but it isn't a cheating story, which is good because I hate those. But that one was really cute. And then the next one, which this one just gutted me. This one just gutted me so much. Is this girl, her father is a hockey coach, because these are all hockey related, obviously. He has been accused of molesting his players, and it's time for her to go to college. So she changes her name and basically runs away, kind of. And then the guy in this one, he is basically raising his 7-year-old sister because his mom has been doing drugs. And when he came to visit his sister one day, she's living alone at the house. And so he has all these different balls that he's juggling, where he had to quit hockey because he needs to work 2 jobs and he's hiding his sister. And it was so good. So there's all that. So he meets this girl and then he really likes her, but he can't let anyone know his secret. And then Lynn, I was telling Lynn about this. And then the third one is about these 2 guys where one of them's on the hockey team. His name is Graham, and his friend, who used to be his friend, they used to go to this Christian school together, and they were in love with each other basically. And there was this horrible attack that happened where the Ricker is the name of the other kid. He gets attacked by these homophobes who just beat the crap out of him. And then his parents send him away to live with his grandmother. So they haven't seen each other in the 5 years since this happened. And then Ricker, he switches schools because he comes out as being gay, and his Christian school isn't going to let him play, which is against the rules. But so he moves to this school, and Graham, who isn't out, he's never slept with another guy or been with another guy at all since what happened. He's terrified that Ricker is going to tell everybody that they were gay best friends, basically. So, and that one is freaking painful. It hurt me so bad. But there's 2 more in that series too, but I won't bore everybody. There's a kind of a delay. So what I'm wanting to do today, which, I mean, if there's just a couple of us, I don't have to yak forever, but I just wanted to try out this thing where I give recommendations. So if there's certain tropes or genres that you like, I would try to do some live give recommendations, or if there's some that we've read recently that you want to talk about, we could totally do that too. So this was just kind of a celebration for hitting 1,500 subscribers. I'm really excited about that, as well as kind of a birthday celebration, talking about romance. So yeah, that's really all that I wanted this to be. And if you guys don't have anything, then we'll just keep chilling for a little while. So yeah, Christy. Well, it does have a happily ever after. I promise. There's just some pain in the middle there, because it was the way that these two kids were treated was really rough. But what else I was gonna say is, so there's the Ivy series, the Ivy years, which is these different people, their hockey team in college, and then there is like all of Sarina's books are connected too, by the way, because like they mention Wesley and Jamie get mentioned sometimes, Lynn. You'll know who they are from him. And then there is the adult series she writes, which is called the Brooklyn Bruisers. Now it's just called the Brooklyn series because there's more than just hockey people on it, but it follows them. It follows people from Harkness now in their professional hockey careers. So there's some people that we meet in that series that we knew them in college, and then we get to see Graham and Ricker. Spoiler, happy ever after. Like, it does work out, Christy, I promise. And then we get to see them like in their professional hockey career. And so I'm currently reading that series right now. I just have 2 left before I'm caught up, but that series has been really good as well. And it's kind of funny too, because these books, the first 3 were actually published traditionally. So I actually found one of them at Barnes and Noble, but then she had to go back to online publishing because I guess they weren't getting enough hit, but they're so good. Okay, now you guys actually sent me some stuff. Let's see. Let's see here. I would love a rec for what historical romance I should start when I'm done with the Bridgertons. So that's a great question. Have you read, sorry, I need a little bit of background for this to give a good recommendation. So have you read like any other historical romance? Was this the first that you started with? What are your favorite parts about it? So those are my 2 qualifying things I would ask you, and then I can go from there. Christy, when's your birthday? So my birthday was on Wednesday. It's the 18th of March, and I was traveling back. So I got back in the States at 11 p.m. on my birthday, and that was really emotional because I just had to go home alone to quarantine, which was really hard because all of our friends like met us at the airport, but we couldn't hug them or touch them or like high five them. They said hello to us and they were like, we love you, we're glad you're back. And then I had to go home alone. And today was supposed to be my birthday party where 30 people were coming and we were going to do this big hoorah. And so that's also why I wanted to do a live show, because I wanted to like talk with you guys instead of be sad at home that I wasn't having my birthday party. I just turned 27 too, by the way. I'm still young. It's a thing. But yeah, so that was kind of hard. You loved the Unhoneymooners, and Red, White, and Royal Blue. You want more things like that? Yeah, okay. I can totally do that. Let me think a second. What have I just read recently? So, did you like kind of the hate to love part of it? Is that kind of what you were liking? Because I definitely have some hate to love. Let's see, on Honeymooners. That one I haven't read yet. It's actually on my TBR. Like, it's on, where is it? It's too funny. It's literally like right here because I need to read that one soon. I've heard that like I'm reading Well Met right now, and I know that one's a hate to love too. I'm in the hate part of the hate to love right now, and I'm really liking that. I know Kelly just finished it too, Christy, and she really enjoyed that one. So that might be a good one. What else have I read that's like that lately? Hold on. It's one thing to say like, hey, I'm going to give these, and then someone actually asks you and you're like, oh my God, I'm on the spot for this. Let's pull out my magic book thing and see which ones I read that were like that. My magic book of recommendations. Thank you for the birthday wishes. You're so sweet. Yeah, Lynn, it really sucked, but it's okay. I'm a big girl. It was hard to leave because I'm physical touch is my love language as well as quality time. And both of those are things that I can't have during a quarantine because I don't have a roommate or a spouse or a boyfriend. And so I'm stuck at home alone. My friends who are also in quarantine, from the trip, we can actually see each other. So tomorrow we're going to go watch our church's live service. We're going to watch it together. So that'll be fun. Let's see. Yeah, you liked sorry, I'm like going back to read it. You like the Hate to Love and you haven't read since you finished Crescent City. Yeah, I want to watch Crescent City. Did any of you guys watch Sarah J. Maas's live stream? She did it with her husband because she couldn't do her book tour for it. It was so cute. They are couple goals for like real life. Let's see. Oh, have you read, Christy, you should read Love Her or Lose Her. I feel like that would be a really fun one for you. Um, and if you liked, okay, you said you don't like it when they're too angsty. Do you not like too much angst then because you don't like when they're hard? Because I really think you should try Him and Us then. Those are both on Kindle Unlimited. They're by Sarina, Bowen, and Elle Kennedy. And it was super sexy and fun. And it's not too angsty because like they're having a little bit of angst for it. But it's not the same kind of angst that happened in the Year of Unrequited, which is the one with the guys. But yeah, Love Her, Lose Her, super good. The Bride Test I just read in January too. That was really fun. And I don't know this, Christy, how like how dirty do you mind things? Like how much smut is okay with you? I don't know. I know on Honeymooners didn't have a lot because I have some hate to loves that I would say right now, but I don't know how much you like. I know Lynn is okay with a lot, but I'm not. So I'll wait till you answer that. Let's look at Bex here. What do you say? I've read some Lenora Bell and one Tessa Dare. I really think it's mostly the historical setting and the relationships aren't too toxic. Okay. Well, you definitely should read more Tessa Dare. Okay. You're cute. Oops, this is the wrong one. You just sent me another one and I can't put it up yet. I like easy, unpainful ones. I'm good with angst, just not straight up pain or hardship. Okay. Okay, good. I will get to that in a sec. Let me answer Bex up here. Okay. Well, you definitely should read some more Tessa Dare. I am reading the Castles Ever After ones were really fun. I really liked the first one, which was romance or not romance. Is it Romancing the Duke? I think it is. All my historicals are in my bedroom, so I can't just look to see it. But I really think you should read those. I don't know what's the other one you read. I think you read The Duchess Deal, right? Did you read The Duchess Deal? You could continue with that series. That's really good. I would suggest more Julia Quinn. After you read the Bridgerton series, you can read the Bridgerton prequels, which starts with Because of Miss Bridgerton. So I would suggest those, obviously. Super great. I'm sure you watch, I think you watch my Julia Quinn deep dive. Any of those would be good. She doesn't have really any toxic relationships, in my opinion. If you ask Murphy, she'll say something different, but to me, they're not toxic. Who else have I read lately? I'm about to reread Celeste Bradley. She has this series called The Wicked Worthingtons, which they're a little bit more spicy for historical romance, which I love. I love it a little bit spicy. So yes, Lynn, I have to read that one. I'll put this up on the screen. I have to read this. I totally will check those ones out. Let me write it down. I'm going to write stuff down too. Lynn reads almost as much as me, probably more sometimes. Did you say it was Scoring Chances? Yeah, so yeah, Bex, that's where I would suggest you to start. I would say continue with Tessa Dare if you liked her. Julia Quinn, she has so many back titles. Her duology that I mentioned in the video, the Lost Duke of Wyndam and Mr. Cavendish, I presume, that is a super cool duology. I really like how she wrote it, where the stories take place at the same time. And I don't normally like that if they do that with a man and a woman, where they tell one person's story and then the others. But this is actually two separate couples whose stories are happening at the same time. And it's really good. So I suggest those. Yeah, Celeste Bradley, The Wicked Worthingtons. I'm about to reread those soon. She's a little bit steamier. The first one is like a Beauty and the Beast retelling, where this Worthington family, they're going under some hardships, and the eldest daughter, she ends up at this guy's house and she steals a necklace of pearls because she's going to sell it, and he catches her. And it's one with a scarred hero. It's a little bit like the Duchess Steele in that aspect, but he's a little more wicked because he decides he will let her earn the pearls by getting her to marry him. And then each night, each time they have a sexual experience, he gives her a pearl back, which sounds really pervy. But, you know, we're romance readers. We take things that normally sound pervy and we have fun with them. So that's a fun series too. The Wicked Worthingtons by Celeste Bradley. So, yes. Let me see. Okay, yes, what Christy said. You're a little bit okay with that. You like easy, unpainful ones. Good with angst, just not straight up. Okay, so Christy, have you checked out the Cloverleigh series by Melanie Harlow? Really, any of Melanie Harlow's books, especially the One and Only series and the Cloverleigh series, those are both very sweet and just adorable. And I just finished the fourth one right before this live stream because I didn't know the fourth book in the Cloverleigh series was out. But the Cloverleigh series, I've talked about it so many times at this point. The first one is an age gap between the accountant for this farm and the youngest daughter, and she's like 26 and he's like 36. It's not a drastic, scary age gap by any means, but he's a single father of 3. He's an ex-Marine. He's just recently been divorced, and he is just barely keeping it all together. And I love single dads. I especially love single dads of daughters. And so the little girls just like melt my heart. It's so good. And yes, the Cloverleigh series. It's spelt differently. Wow, I literally had the book behind me before, but it's gone. But I'm also writing up all the books that I'm suggesting, and I'll put it in our Discord. But the first one is called Irresistible, and it is so hot, but yet they're very easygoing books. Like, it's books where there's real drama. Like, they're not just misunderstandings. There's actual roadblocks to these couples, but there's nothing where it's like painful. It's just the normal stuff. Like, for Mac and Franny, he has 3 kids. She's only 26. He doesn't want to like rush her into being a mother of 3 kids when she's only 26. And he doesn't know if he wants more kids and, you know, all these things. And then there's one about the sheriff in town and one of the other daughters. And she and him have been like best friends. Their whole, like, legitimately have been best friends. And this time when she comes to town, he's broken up with his girlfriend, and he is really struggling with, he has a twin brother who has a disability, and he's just decided that he's going to take care of his brother his whole life. And the girl he broke up with didn't like how much time he spent with his family because she's a bitch. And and then so he just decides, well, I'm not going to be with anyone because I can't handle it. So yes, I'll make a list of everything that we talk about. But the newest one was about the oldest sister, and she's just recently got divorced, and then she's falling in love with the winemaker at this farm. And they're not sticky sweet, but they're almost sticky sweet because you just feel so good about them. So there's 4 of those books out right now. They're all on Kindle Unlimited. I don't know if you have that. but you should get it. It's only $10 a month, and if you read as much as I do, you gotta have it. All right, let's do this. I read Romancing the Duke. Okay, I knew you read one of them. Okay, yeah, you should continue that. What's the other series? You should try Lisa Klepas, The Ravenels. I just finished, that series is just finished now, and I feel like I'm repeating stuff I've suggested before, but if you're wanting to know where to go next, I would pick that, because if you like the banter in Tessa Dare, you were going to find that in Lisa Kleypas. Her banter is on point. Julia Quinn does that really well too. That's why I love those ladies, because I'm finding that I don't like historical romance that are too serious. Like I don't like the ones that are too serious like that. Like I read Kingdom of Heaven or Kingdom of Dreams, and it was good, but it had too much, this is really historically accurate, because when it's too historically accurate, the women get treated like crap because that's how it was. And I like it when it's more on the fantasy side, where everybody wants things to be equal for you and, you know, whatever. So 65 hours. 65 Hours is a lovely, sweet Hate to Love by N.R. Walker, who is one of my favorite male. Oh, I'm gonna write that down. Like it. I like it. Oh, banter. Okay. Banter is the like back and forth. So the like snipping back and forth. It's when you joke around or you're like really quick quips back and forth. That's how I would describe banter. So it's that like teasing, the sexual tension, all that stuff mixed together. And Tessa Dare does that really well. Like you have a really snarky, quick heroine, and then you have a hero who's just either exasperated with her or he just gives it right back. I really, really love that in books. So yeah, yes, yeah, banter. I forget, your English is so good on your videos and in your writing that I forget. You're awesome. Let's see if I miss anything else. Lynn. I just saw that one. Let me find it. Oh my gosh. I freaking love Ella Frank. I read through the entire, like, starting all the way back with Try, and it went all the way through. Holy crap. She is crazy. She is, like, I love her stuff because you always think it's just about the sex in those books. Like, just being honest. You pick up a book like that says it's about, and pardon me, but I'm safe here with you guys, that says it's about 3 dudes gonna have a relationship together. And then you get into it and like I cried. Like Henry, well, that's the other one. Priest, he made me cry so much. And I don't really like the flamboyant side of male. It's just not my thing. I more like when it's too, I like when it's two alpha males because I just think it's hot. Like whatever, I'm not gonna deny my pleasure here. But I loved having Robbie have a happy ending, especially after reading the Temptation or the Try series or whatever. I was so happy Robbie got a happily ever after with those 2 guys. Like that's the weirdest sentence I've ever said, but I love them so much. And then Ella Frank, I read the Wedlocked series too, or Press Locked. Oh my gosh, you have to read Henry. Yeah, that one starts at the wedding. Um, that one starts at, oh wait, let me read where you said. Yeah, if you read the Confession series, then you read the trilogy. Henry and Bailey are like a duology together. And oh my word, that one was good too. Because that one was kind of like a little bit darker because you're dealing with, I mean, poor Henry. Henry's awesome. And then Bailey is police officer who we also meet in the other one. He's the one who like helps Priest and Julian out with their proposal situation. Love it. So that series, man. But yeah, the Press Locked, I don't know if you've read those ones, Lynn. but that one was also really good. Yes. So let's see. What else have I read? I finished the Calloway series this month. I said that in my one wrap up. That killed me. Reich and okay. Connor and Rose's book. I don't know if you guys have read theirs, so I won't go on a rant, but Connor is such an interesting character because he's a sociopath, but so he's that person that like he doesn't think he has feelings, but he wants Rose. And Rose is just this battle axe, like, oh my gosh, but she wants someone to tell her what to do. So it's a little bit of a BDSM kind of. But oh my God, the chemistry that those guys have is off the charts. And then Reich and Daisy just break my heart. One of my favorite age gaps ever now. Like, love them so much. Yes, so I definitely suggest that series too. That's by Krista and Becca Ritchie, and I'm in love with them. I love the books about the kids then, and just all of it so much. Kindle Unlimited has been killing me. Ooh, another one for you, Lynn. Or not Lynn, sorry, all your names are Christy. That's like really, really fun. Is the the St. Luke's docuseries by Max Monroe. I will put that in the list. That is a super cute trilogy. That one, there's hardly any angst in it. It's just sexy good times. And that is, this hospital has a TV show made about it. And so they make episodes about the OB doctor, the ER doctor, and the neuro daughter. So the neuro doctor. So they're called Dr. OB, Dr. ER, and Dr. Neuro. And just so much fun, so funny, and just really fun, heartfelt reads. So that's a really fun one. I'll put that. I think you'd really enjoy those ones. Okay, another hate to love recommendation. Can you tell I'm going through my Goodreads list? Yeah. From Lukov with Love by Maria Zapata. Okay. So here's my question, Lynn. I have not made it through one of her books before. My best friend really likes her. But there's not enough smut in those for me. And just being honest, the ones I've seen so far, they're very, very slow burn. Is that true for this one as well? Because I'm just telling you, the slow burn lately has not been a good friend to me. And especially because her books are so big, like I'm okay with the slow burn if it's a like 50% or 60% slow burn. Okay. So literally I have like a rule about it. But when you start making me be like the one about Winnipeg, like the Wall of Winnipeg and Me, that one's like a 95% slow burn. And it's like 700 pages. I don't have time for that, man. I need you to get busy. And I don't care what this makes me sound like. It's the truth. I need you to get busy here. Let's go. But anyway, I've heard good things about Mariana Zapata. I just haven't found one that's really like done it for me before. Let's see. Any like other ones recommendations? Yes, Bex. Feel it. Let me know. Because yes. Thanks, Lynn. Thank you. I love the slow burn when there's the fun banter back and forth. But yeah. And like I said, I'm not like, it doesn't have to be a lust at first sight. That's fine. Like I like hate to love. And sometimes that's a slow burn. But that's why I like contemporary romance when it goes a little quicker. Okay. Okay, Lynn, you're saying it like halfway through. All right. Well, I will check it out, then we'll write it down. From Lukov with Love. I would also suggest for non-angsty the the Nordic Royal series by Karina Halle. They're about like they're what they sound. It's these different royal families in like Norwegian countries, and like one of them is called the Wild Heir, and like he needs to have a marriage, so it's like that one is a an arranged marriage one. There's an accidental pregnancy one. There's a hate to love one, and there is a age gap one between the king. That one's like the Nordic king. Holy crap, that one was sexy because he is a widowed dad and he has 3 little girls. Like I said, I like me some widowed dads. And he hires a new nanny, and he's a really gruff, like he's one of those, like he's the gruff, grumpy guy. And obviously he needs to be really careful about, not showing affection towards anyone because he's a king. And the girl who takes over as the nanny, he has a lot of like really strict like rules about how you're supposed to teach his kids and all these things. And it's a little bit like A Sound of Music in a way too. And she's a lot younger than him. And it was just an adorable age gap. It was so much fun. But the royals were good. Yeah. But yeah, anything else we're looking at? You guys are the best. You are my homegirls, just so you know. I knew I could count on you guys. I was really worried because I got on here and like no one's here, and you're just like, oh crap. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about me. You guys are the best. I'll go on a mini rant just in case you guys are writing, and then if you don't send me anything else, I'll go ahead and wrap it up. So I've been really impressed with myself this year so far about like expanding what kind of romances I like, because I had only read like 1 or 2 gay romances before, and they were always like the secondhand characters who, you were like rooting for them to get together, but they weren't your like OTPs or anything. So I'm really happy that I have started reading those this year because holy crap, I've had so much fun with them. And then also reading sports romances, which I only read, like which one was it? I think it was him. I read him because it was a hockey romance and it was a gay romance. So it did 2 of my Romanceopoly prompts in one. And I was like, wow, I kind of like sports because it's like they're already like athletic people and that's fun. And then you're having like competition, which just adds like another level to things. And then I really I just like all that aspect of things happening there. So I've really liked sports romances lately, which is just so weird. I never thought I'd want to read a hockey romance. And then you're like, oh, this is what everyone's talking about. This is really fun, right? So the unicorn, Christy says, it has a widowed dad with 2 girls starting to date. Yes, I have a thing for single dads. I don't have anything against single moms. I just think that we're so used to seeing single moms. And when you see a dad, especially a dad that like he's divorced and he has the kids, because I think that just shows something really brave when the dad wants the kids and doesn't just want to like throw them off and be like, I'm free from my kids now. I really love when there's a dad who wants to take care of his kid. One of the books I just read, Lev, like it's literally Lev, by Belle Aurora, is about this. He's on the autism spectrum and he's like an enforcer at a club and he has a daughter and he's always like fighting to have his daughter. And it's a really cool situation. Well, it's not a cool situation. Like the woman tried to trap him into marriage by having a baby. And he was like, nope, I'll just take my daughter now, please. I'm not going to marry you and be married to you so you can have my money, but I'm going to take care of my kid. And I really, really liked it. And I really loved I really loved how his brain worked as well. It was really good. So I really liked that. Thomas Elkin. Okay. You got to remind me of some stuff, Lynn. You can always resend me recommendations because, girl, I forget stuff all the time. Okay. Male romances. Yes, Bex. Oh yes, definitely talk to Lynn. Yes, I don't know. Him was the first one. I really liked it because it was a rom-com with just a little bit of angst to it. These two guys who they had a connection, and then one of them realized he was gay from that connection, and the other one was like, "Oh, that was fun," and moved on with his life. And then he's realizing that it's meant to be. The off-campus series. So I just read The Deal, Lynn. I just read that one this month. And so I plan to. None of those ones are on Kindle Unlimited though, so I wasn't like reading them yet, but I plan to continue because I have The Deal, the physical copy of The Deal. I found it for a sale. So I really liked it. That's what got me started on college romances again. And like the Ivy years, they're a mix between hockey and college. So they're a really good mix of everything. Yes. Oh my gosh. And also, okay. Also, I'm a sucker for this is so detailed. I'm a sucker for the number one, I've never had teach me how to do it better. Is one of my favorites. And I absolutely loved Hannah, and I loved her friendship with him. And I loved when he was like, we're going to make sure you can reach the big O. I'm going to help you with that. Because I'm just like, oh boy, I'll help you with your homework if you help me get this. And I just loved it. It was so good. So I definitely plan to continue that series. So I definitely will. Elle Kennedy just intimidates me. She has so many books. But then again, like I'm doing that with Sarina Bowen. Like I started slow and I'm like building up, I'm just taking my time. But I'm almost done with her books, so I'm sure I'll go back. And I mean, I'm trapped into my house another 11 days, right? Like I'm going to get through them. It's going to be good. So yeah, well, you guys have been so great. Thank you for coming to this and not leaving me here to hang my head in shame. It's always fun to talk with you. Next time, I'll probably just do like Murphy and invite you all to this because it's way more fun to talk to your face than to talk to your comments. But you guys were still awesome. Like you said, Christy, I'm going to go ahead and I will write all of these that we talked about and I'll post them in our Discord so that you don't have to try to remember everything that we said, but it should be in the comments as well. But anyway, thank you guys so much for coming. Yes, you guys are the best. I mean, we might have to do another one soon if we keep being trapped at home. Like, who knows? But all right, you guys are the best. Good night. Thanks for coming.